Delighted now to speak with a man who's really caught the attention, I think, of the UFC world after his debut and 7-second knockout, the fastest in UFC lightweight history. Terrance McKinney, who faces Firas Ziam at UFC Fight Night on the 20th of November. Terrance, first of all, man, great to speak to you. How's everything with you? How's training going ahead of the fight?
It's going good. My knee's feeling good. Everything's feeling good. I can't wait to perform November 20th. It's going to be a dope card. I got two other people from Washington fighting on there, Mike Yes and Misha Terry.
Yeah.
So,
Do you train much with those guys? They're obviously from, Mike's from the Spokane area. Do you ever get to work with those? And I think Misha's from up around there as well.
I used to be on the same team as Mike, but I switched over to Warrior Camp. But, we're still in the same neck of the woods whenever he's in town. But really, he doesn't train much out here.
You mentioned the knee there, and I have to ask you about that. Obviously, after your phenomenal performance and win over Matt Frivola, the 7-second knockout, you jumped on the cage and you hurt the knee. How's everything with the knee? What did the MRI say when you got it back?
Actually, it had nothing to do with my knee, and I kind of figured that much as I was able to walk around later that day, because I couldn't even flex my calf muscle for like a month and a half. So I strained my calf bad. That little nerve damage kind of behind the knee because of the nerves that connected to the calf.
Wow. I presume your coaches were giving you some grief and stick after you did that. You won't be doing that again, I doubt it.
We might do something over there, but we'll pay attention to the landing this time.
So you're planning on you've already a new one planned, do you? A new celebration?
Yeah. We got to stick to that.
Good stuff. Talk to me about that. Obviously, the dust is settling on that performance, and we remember you. Any obviously the hardcore MMA fan will remember you from Dana White's Contender Series and LFA as well, which you've fought on. But what was it like now, looking back at that fight, that the dust has settled? 7 seconds, making UFC lightweight history. Obviously, I think everyone will agree with me when they say the lightweight division over the years in the UFC has been the #1 division. To have your place now etched in UFC lightweight history, that's pretty special, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely, man. And no better weight class to do it in. And I want to show people I'm the best in the world. And when I dominate this weight class, no one's going to deny that God's real and that I was born for this path. And I just can't wait to show you guys and bring you along the ride.
What do you, when you look back on that now, what do you think? Do you have to pinch yourself a little bit when you look at that debut performance? Because as far as debuts go, it's one of the greatest debuts I've ever seen in the UFC.
Obviously, the guy who did the greatest in history. I took 0 damage, and it was the fastest. And, couldn't have gone more perfect than that.
Let's talk about debuts, and I know someone who's sort of come to your attention recently, and there was a few tweets about it. You're obviously fighting Firas Ziam, and I think Paddy's close to having something booked. But you had a few things to say on Twitter when asked about Paddy the Baddy's debut. Did that sort of get under your skin, his debut, maybe the credit he got for that debut? What was the situation there with yourself and Paddy?
I just like the attention. Why not take it all? That's why I'm here. It's a great business move, and it's a good way to get more money. And I think it'll be an easy fight for me. I think I'm too fast, and my stand up just a little bit more cleaner. My hands are up. His head and his chin's high. I see the mistakes, and I capitalize on those, as you guys been seeing this year.
Do you feel as though maybe you didn't get enough credit for your UFC debut?
Yeah, people probably just don't even understand. It almost looks like a fluke, But really, it's all credit to my coach Pablo Alfonso as well. We knew he was going to kick to test the range, and before I could even let him plant his feet to kick, we hit him with the 1-2. We drilled it 100 times in the back before the fight. I didn't think it would be that quick, but I saw it right. I fired the 1-2 as fast as I can.
Is that something you could see potentially happening in the future? The UFC potentially matching you up with a guy like Paddy, because I think you're both young studs. I think you're going places in division, the pair of you. But do you think that's something the UFC would do in the future?
I think they're gonna take him a little bit slower. We're gonna take real risky fights this next one because, like I said, I can't just be talking. We're gonna call out these guys' name and hopefully I get one of the fights and put on a performance of a lifetime and get the credit that I find deserve after I fight someone in the top 10 rankings.
You said you mentioned, you saw holes in Paddy's game. Whereabouts? Obviously, a lot of people were talking about, he doesn't really tuck his chin. He leaves his head out there. He's always sort of got criticism for his stand-up a lot, Paddy, over the years, even here in Europe. Where did you see the holes?
Like when sometimes he's lazy about his kicks, and you can't be doing that against a good striker like me or anyone in the top 10 like that. They're too powerful. You got to be sharp. The chin got to be down when you're hitting your combinations. And as you see, his chin gets up during combination. That's how he got caught with the 3. So a lot of things, but I give one thing: he doesn't give up, and I respect him for that. But what the real killers, that one mistake that could be another fight.
Definitely. I want to ask you. You've mentioned. I think it was in the post-fight interview, the post-fight press conference, whatever it was after the fight, that you really wanted to showcase your stand-up and how good your skills are, and obviously you did that. But how good is, maybe the question is, what's your best asset, do you feel? Because you've said the striking has improved so much. I think people are just eager to see more of you because you made such light work of Matt Frivola.
Well, this year so far, I've fought 4 fights, and it all been less than 2 minutes, and there probably won't be much to see because, like I said, it's preparation. I really study my opponents, my coach too, and I'm really good at listening. Really, it's just humbling myself, listen to my coaches, and I already know the speed and power is there and the timing. I just got to be humble and not get my head too big and listen to my coaches and then see the work for itself. Once I'm out there.
How far can you go in this sport? I know you're in it to be a world champion. Do you generally believe and feel you can go right to the top?
Yes, I think if they try to make things a little bit slower for me, but who cares? I'll still enjoy the ride. Like I said, I'm here to this fight. I'll fight anyone. So, but I think I'll have the belt by 2023 tops.
Wow. We're going to hold you to that one. Listen, I want to ask about your past as well. I know, I watched a lot on it here before the interview, and it's been well documented. What do you see, or what do you remember? What do you take when you look back at that video of you being arrested by the police after you overdosed on mushrooms and acid? What do you look? Do you ever watch back that video?
Yeah, it's funny. It was something I used to hate, and then God made it a blessing for me now, and now it's out here really changing people's lives, and I would never take it back for anything, now. So.
Is it almost, when you look at that, it was obviously an eye-opener. Do you feel as though you were going down the wrong path, or was that an isolated incident?
Yeah, I was starting to get down the wrong path. I was in college, turning up, doing all kinds of drugs, doing whatever, thinking I'm invincible. It was bound to catch up to me.
Wow. And I believe as well, you obviously went around to schools and stuff, directly after that incident. I think it was a youth police program that you participated in. You really sort of turned it into a massive positive from such a life-changing experience, almost.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I want to give credit to God for that. It wasn't easy, I was stressed out about it. I hated it, honestly. I was so embarrassed for myself. But yeah, look at it now. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy how things run in full circle.
Do you think you'd be where you'd be without actually that incident happening?
I think that incident needed to happen for me and make some certain changes. So yeah, I think that event definitely played a huge part in helping me focus on becoming the man who I am today.
Fair play to you for overcoming it. It's it's a phenomenal thing to see where you are now and getting your life back on track. I have to ask you as well, there was a lot of talk about you going to the Olympics as well. That was your aspiration, that was your goal. How much of a part did that affect on you not going to the Olympics?
I actually did qualify for the world team later on that year, which was pretty cool. But I just didn't have enough money or needed it. I do the fundraising stuff that I needed to because I just had a lot of life stuff going on because of court and stuff. But ended up getting to go to the Olympic Training Center that year, training over there. So like, all in all, it was still just a great experience. Like if that event did happen, like who's to say I would have ever went to the Olympic Training Center and wrestled over there? So it was pretty cool.
Your mom, I listened to an interview. Your mom, she's a big supporter of yours. I think she comes from a military background, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. She served for the Army.
Wow. How much of a reason is she for you coming out of that as well? Because in that interview, I think it was before your UFC debut, she spoke about, you potentially buying her a house one day. I think you said you're going to do that as well for your mom. How much of a reason is she where you are now today as well? Because she seems like a very strong personality.
Yeah, because my mom grew up in the inner city of Chicago. Like, my mom could have been dead. She was in a gang. Like, she did the ultimate risk. I know she loved me very much, but she let my grandma take me until she was at a spot where she could take care of me and have me live with her. It's like, she made an ultimate sacrifice and joined the Army. I know she didn't want to leave me, but I didn't see that when I was little, so, like, it hurt me deep down, like, growing up. But as you get older, you see, like, the sacrifice that are made, and I just refused to ever give up because she never gave up on me. Or she could have just stayed in Chicago, been a gang member, but she changed her whole life around just for me. So I refused to give up on her.
Wow. Is that your biggest strength, your mental strength? Above everything else, having overcome your addiction issues, what happened with you? Obviously bouncing back as well from that loss in Contender Series and being in the UFC now, you seem to be a really strong, mentally tough fighter.
Yes, sir. My mental game is huge for me. I've never been one to give up. Like my freshman year, I was sucked at wrestling, but I kept telling myself I'll be a state champion. And I finally ended up was almost a state alternate as a freshman, from sucking, being like 0-6 to almost making it to state. So, like, it shows, like, I just refuse to give up. That's just always been kind of athlete in person that I've been, like. And there's been people along my life that helped me there in coaching, helped me not give up as well. Just like small glimpses of success can really go a long way, and I never took those for granted. So I was like, even if I barely got them when I got them, it made me even more motivated to get more memories like that. And that's just the feeling I love about fighting. Like there's always glory in it, and there's defeat. It's just a real passionate sport, honestly.
Firas Ziam's obviously coming up on the 20th of November. Are you looking sort of in a weird way? A lot of fighters will tell you this, that, after a sort of short victory like that, obviously 7 seconds is incredible. Are you looking to sort of make this fight go a little bit longer, maybe showcase more of your skills to the public and show them what you're all about?
Really, I'm looking to go out there and finish as fast as possible. That's just what kind of fighter I am. Like, I don't like to play around. Like, honestly, I feel like this. If two fighters are really fighting, I don't see why a fight should really be going 15, 25 minutes. Like, if we're out here fighting, hitting each other 100%, trying to kill each other, no, like, let's go to war. Like, someone's getting knocked out. Let's be real, And that's just how I fight. That's how I see a real fight. I'm not here to look pretty. I'm here to do damage and get this check as fast as possible,
Did Dana give you a discretionary bonus after that knockout? I think he said in the press conference.
No, but I wish I got the official one for sure. That would have been a lot cooler for me.
You did get looked after, though?
Yeah.
That's good, though, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And I'm very grateful for it all anyway, so I wasn't tripping. But who wouldn't want the whole 50 G's, right?
50 G's, baby, yeah. Are you going to get that in November? Is the 50 G's officially coming your way in November? That's obviously what you're planning to do, and I still can't believe you didn't get that bonus originally.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's a lot of good guys to go against, but I think I can get it done for sure. Just my style of fighting and how I come every time.
I love this fight card as well. I think it's a really, really solid fight card, and obviously your debut was a solid fight card as well. Like the UFC,
Yeah.
do you feel as though the UFC have you, their eyes on you, they know you're going to be a big star, putting you on these, like, it's a really, really good fight night card if we're honest about it.
Yeah, for a fight night card, it's just a pay-per-view one for me. So I was like, this is sick. They're putting me on some good cards. I think everything's happened the way it's supposed to happen. So like, I'm just gonna give God the glory and just enjoy the ride.
Terrance, my final one for you, and we're always trying to claim people here in Ireland. You know McKinney's an Irish name.
Yeah, I do actually.
You do. Tell me about your name. Do you know anything about your family lineage or anything like that?
I don't know too much about except when my mom did the blood work, so I know a little bit about what's in the McKinney bloodline.
Okay. Any more information to tell us? No. Are you?
That's
Okay. Fair enough. Terrance, listen, man, I'm looking forward to this fight coming up on November 20th. It's an absolutely smashing card, as I said, and I appreciate you coming on and taking the time out to speak with me today. Always appreciate it, man.
No problem, man, and God bless, brother. And whenever you want to do this again, just hit me up.
Pleasure. Thanks very much, Terrance. Speak to you soon, man. If you want to see more videos like this, do hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so you don't miss any future updates. You can also catch us on social media and also give the video a thumbs up. It does help. Thanks, guys.